Well, greetings, City Church family and friends. Today is March the 21st, the first day of spring, and we're in our series, Receiving the Ministry of Jesus. Today, we're going to look at the words of Jesus from John chapter 14, verses 1 through 4. And these are some of my favorite verses, but they were the words of Jesus that he was speaking to his disciples to encourage them, to build up faith in them, to give them a right perspective of the future. And he knew he didn't have a lot of time left here on the planet. But I want you to understand, just as real as those words that he spoke to the disciples on this day is just as real for us to receive in our day and in our lives. But Jesus said this. He said, don't let your hearts be troubled. How many know there was a lot of things going on around the disciples so easily could have troubled their hearts, just like us today, all the things that are going on around us in this world. He said, don't let your hearts be troubled. You believe in God and you believe in the Father. Believe also in me. And then he says this, he says, in my Father's house, there are many mansions. The word mansions is just, in the Greek, it's just a dwelling places. There's many places for people to dwell. And he said, I go away to prepare a place for you, that where I am, you may be also, and that I will come again unto you. And then he goes on and says, you know the way. And then, of course, then the disciples respond in verse 5 and said, we don't know the way, Jesus. And Jesus then says, I am the way. I'm the truth. I'm the life. And there's no way to get to the Father. No one can come to the Father except through me. So Jesus is saying he is the way to the Father. He is the way to live in this place that is being prepared for us. One of the things that was interesting to me years ago when I was studying about the marriages among the Jewish people, especially during the time of Christ, that you would become a bridegroom would, ask his wife to marry him, and then they would become betrothed, meaning that they were not married yet, but I think it was a year later they would get married. And during that year, during that time of absence, he would go away and prepare a home to receive his bride unto himself. Now, when the word betrothed here is not like being engaged in American mindset, because you can get engaged, unengaged. Betrothed was you were promised. So we see the picture here that Jesus is the bridegroom. He has went away and he's preparing a place for us, that where he is, we might be also. And we are the bride of Christ. And there is coming a day that the bride of Christ is going to come together with the bridegroom. And in that city, I believe that the New Jerusalem is not a figurative city. It's a real city that has been prepared for us. It's going to come down and we are going to meet with him in the marriage supper of the Lamb, and we're going to be with him forever and ever. Why? Because he went away to prepare a place for us, but he's coming back, and we thank you so much for that, Jesus. In Jesus' name, Lord, make our heart live with the expectation and the knowledge that this is everything you said is real. It's true. It's not figurative. Lord, you are coming back. You are preparing a place for us to receive us unto you, Lord, that we are the bride and you're the bridegroom. And thank you for that in Jesus' name.